Okay, Golden Globe fans, I'm Tom O'Neill with Gold Derby. We are here with the great Tariq Khan, Oscarologist extraordinaire and an awards guru of enormous rank. And we have with us Paul Sheehan, our Gold Derby executive editor, who has the best score among most of the Oscarologists here. And we're talking about the Golden Globe's Best Film Award for drama, because we know La La Land is going to sweep over on the comedy side. So, Paul, what film is going to win Best Film Drama?
Well, you know, Tom, I do well with the Oscars, but my Golden Globe picks aren't as good as yours, and yet I'm going against you. Going with Moonlight instead of Manchester by the Sea for Best Film Drama. And because I have in my head what you keep saying about people want to be with the cool kids. And Moonlight's the cool kids kind of movie this year. It's the critics' darling. And I just have a feeling that I think I'm out on a limb, and now you're going to come behind me and saw away. So why am I wrong?
I can't use reason with you. I've tried many times through the years. That always fails. So let me use my other weapon, which is Tariq here, who just dumped Moonlight moments before we started this. What's the reason?
Here's the thing. You're right, Paul. Moonlight is the cool film. It has that going for it. But remember, these are it's the Hollywood foreign press, foreign journalists, and I have this feeling that they sat and watched Moonlight, and did they really get it? I just think this is a story, a film which they just don't understand. I don't buy that they really get this movie the way that the critics do. So I'm sensing they go for a safer choice like Manchester by the Sea, another critics' darling that's a traditional drama, well acted, well directed, good story, good cast. I think that seems like a safer choice, and I don't buy that they really get Moonlight the way that others do.
I reluctantly have Manchester by the Sea because it has more Oscar nominations, and I don't know what else to put there.
Golden Globe nominations.
Yes,
we haven't got to that.
But I worry about Hacksaw Ridge here. Could we see that happened back in, what was it, 1995, where a man named Mel Gibson suddenly pulled ahead by winning Best Director at the Globes with a little movie called Braveheart that was barely on the awards horizon at the time. And then, of course, that triggered his sweep that was Oscar-bound later on. Now, we have Hacksaw Ridge, and Mel is nominated for Director. Paul, do you think there's a chance it could pull through? Both of them. Well,
I guess the thing with the Golden Globes is it's what, 90-odd voters, and I use that word in both senses. So it's that ultimate in the retail politicking, right? I mean, if you think there are 5 nominees, it's a tick the ballot. You could win Best Picture with 19 votes if things split. So I think that's a real possibility, Tom. I think that I'm not.
Yes. You know, one thing that I would caution against with picking Hacksaw Ridge, and I think it's possible, is that they want to pick an eventual Oscar winner. And right now, it seems very, very unlikely that Hacksaw Ridge can win the Oscar for Best Picture. So given that, I think that they're tempted to vote for the film that has a better chance of actually winning the top award, which even though Manchester by the Sea is of course behind La La Land in the Oscar race right now, that has a chance of winning Best Picture. Hacksaw Ridge, I think they know it's probably a real long shot. So that's what has the edge.
But Tom, I thought that the Globes maybe weren't so. I mean, Critics' Choice, I think you can accuse of sort of pandering, trying to pick the Oscar winners. I thought, in a way, we've written about it, that they've diverged, that they haven't had the Oscar winners many times, that they do want to be.
2 years they've gotten Best Picture wrong. The previous 3 years they got it right. The previous 2 years they got it wrong. They've been, if you average out, I guess the last decade or so, they're about 50% right. They went with Grand Budapest Hotel over Birdman recently. They went for Revenant over Spotlight, remember?
Right.
In the acting awards, there tends to be a lot more agreement between the Oscars and the Globes. But of course, the Globes have twice as many acting categories, so it's easier to overlap in that case. So, okay, the thing that throws me here in this race is that Fences is not nominated. I would have thought that there was a chance for a Fences / Denzel thing happening here. Is Denzel nominated for director? I don't even know.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
No. By the way, I heard from my sources that they really didn't like Fences that much. That's
well, apparently they didn't.
So it was left out of picture, out of director, out of screenplay as well. So got into acting, of course, for Washington. and for Viola Davis, but it wasn't one they really took to. So.
Now let's go there with this because it follows the logic of Manchester by the Sea and Fences and Denzel. Tariq has Denzel for Best Actor, and I'm very tempted to steal that prediction because this is the man who won the Cecil B. DeMille Award last year. He is a darling of HFPA, and you know, whenever they have a kind of close little friend, super friend, think of Amy Poehler a couple years ago when she was co-hosting the Globes with Tina Fey. Remember, suddenly Amy won a Golden Globe, right? I mean,
surprise.
It was all about our friends and who are our friends. And Denzel just seems to be a kingmaker of Hollywood that is royalty. And Casey Affleck, can he really run the board? Who's got an idea here?
Okay, can I pipe in?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to say this right now. There's no way Casey's going to be an Oscar. I'm sorry, that's a critic's performance. He was excellent, but quiet, subdued performances like that don't win. They go for the fireworks. They go for the drama, and Denzel is going to win SAG. I'll tell you right now, Denzel has never won SAG before. He lost for The Hurricane. He lost for Training Day. SAG voters love him. I mean, he's a veteran. There's no way Casey Affleck can be in SAG. Now, getting back to the Globe race, he's an HFPA favorite. He won at the Globe 17 years ago for The Hurricane when he was the Oscar favorite. He then lost to Kevin Spacey for American Beauty. He lost the Oscar. When he was nominated for Training Day, at that point, Russell Crowe was the favorite for A Beautiful Mind. So Denzel lost for that, but then he came back to win the Oscar. So it's been 17 years since Denzel won a Globe. He won for The Hurricane. He won for Glory as well. He won the Oscar for that role. They love him. Thanks. Remember, this is a really meaty, dramatic, fierce performance, which voters always go for. I think that they're going to go for him. They love him. Like you said, he won the big award last year. So I think Denzel pulls out at the Golden Globes, wins SAG, and then he's an Oscar slam dunk. That's my read.
That's a very interesting scenario, Paul. Don't you agree? What do you think of that whole thing? It's possible.
Would have, except that Tariq prefaced this whole discussion by saying that they didn't like Fences that much.
That's the one flaw in the system.
Right? Like, it's sort of like, and it's not like he's overdue. I mean, I guess you could say 17 years, but they've given him Cecil B. DeMille, so I'm not so sure. And I think that, I think that Fences, you're right, will do well with SAG. I could even see it winning SAG Ensemble. But it isn't material that resonates with the Globe voters. Now, Tariq, do you have Viola Davis winning at the Globes?
I do, yes. And I know it seems strange. Remember last year, Steve Jobs wasn't nominated for Best Picture, and it won 2 awards. Won screenplay. So even though they didn't love the film overall, I think they can still honor the performances. So Denzel and Viola, I think they were fantastic. Again, both very meaty, dramatic performances. I think they can both win, even though it's not nominated for Best Picture or Director or anything else. So don't count it out because of that.
And to the point of it not being nominated for Best Drama, the fact that they put in Hell or High Water instead, right? I mean, that to me is
for Best Drama.
Really...
Yeah, and then Jeff Bridges is nominated, remember. And then in this race, we also have Andrew Garfield for Hacksaw, Viggo Mortensen for Captain Fantastic, and Joel Edgerton for Loving. Wouldn't it just be like those crazy Globes to give this to Garfield as the Actor of the Year? Remember, he's in Silence. He's sexy as hell. And Hacksaw is all over the place here. And if the vote splits, that could really happen. Or Viggo could happen. Yes. Viggo is the kind of Ben Mendelsohn of the Globes this year. Remember, Ben Mendelsohn pulled off this upset, the actor's actor kind of bullshit that they just love at these Hollywood awards. And Viggo's performance in Captain Fantastic has that resonance, the cachet, and he is a Hollywood superstar of his own rank. It could happen.
You know, I think Garfield is a real wild card. I think that is a real possibility, right? Because he has both films. Because
and it's his moment.
In Hacks,
Spider-Man has come of age, right?
They love the film. It's done very well. They had a very dramatic performance. He's playing a real person. There's passion there. So I remember they gave it to Jim Carrey for The Truman Show, and a big surprise over Ian McKellen for Gods and Monsters and Nick Nolte for Affliction. So they could definitely throw us a real curveball here. So I wouldn't count on Garfield. In fact, I was tempted to switch him, but I still think Denzel seems like the safest choice. Yeah.
The bigger performance. Paul, what do you think?
No, I'm just sitting here in amazement at Tariq reeling off nominees from 20 years ago.
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah, films I've forgotten, let alone nominated performances. You know,
So let's jump over to the film drama actress, and of course we all have Natalie Portman, and Tariq and I believe from the beginning she's Oscar bound, and we're absolutely still convinced of that. Her competition here is Amy Adams in Arrival, Isabelle Huppert for Elle, Ruth Negga in Loving, and Jessica Chastain in Miss Sloane. Look, they love Amy Adams. She won for Big Eyes a couple years ago.
Right.
She's just the kind of sexy superstar, sexy in her way, I guess. But anyway, she's in this race.
No, she can't win. No, there's no way she can win for a rival. No way. Like she won for Big Eyes. She won for American Hustle. They love her. She's gonna have her chance for an Oscar again in the future. But this year, she's lucky to be nominated.
Does she have any?
No way.
What about Isabelle Huppert? When the Oscars, when there was a French winner in this race a few years ago for La Vie en Rose, what's her name?
Marion Cotillard.
Marion Cotillard
in the comedy category, right?
She did hear it.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
that's
exactly.
right. I was looking at the drama actress thing. So nobody beats Natalie. What happens?
No. Oh, what do you think?
I mean, Rivals. I mean, it might be the Golden Globes, but they like green. I mean, Arrival's made a ton of money. I mean, it's a huge hit, and it's a female-driven sci-fi film. It's what everyone thought Passengers was going to be. It's the big hit sort of sci-fi movie that isn't Star Wars. I don't know. I think that I wouldn't be surprised if she won. Now, Natalie Portman. It's the Hollywood Foreign Press. She's married to a Frenchman, lives in Paris, is fluent in French. I mean, they've watched her grow up, Natalie Portman. So.
She's won twice before.
Yeah, exactly.
Supporting actress 2004. She
I
won for
forgot
Closer.
about that.
She won for Black Swan. So this could be. She was nominated for Anywhere But Here. Best Supporting Actress 99 comes surprise nomination. So she has a good history with the group.
And she fits their profile of being the darling of a child of Hollywood, superstar, Star Wars movies and stuff. Now crossing over to be a legitimate actress.
But most importantly, though, she is the Oscar favorite. Even if it's a close race.
Yes, even though Gold Derby says it's Emma Stone, we know better.
Chance.
Listen to us.
No
You're not paying attention out there, Derbyites.
So
I'm telling you.
Wait.
There's no chance of winning the Oscar. So Amy Adams, there's no way. I mean, I'm not even sure she'll be nominated, probably, but she's not even.
She'll be nominated.
Okay, but she can't win.
Stop running too far down the field.
Natalie Portman is
lame brain idea of the moment. Paul, what do you think?
Well, no, I'm reeling from the Natalie Portman is the Oscar favorite. So, Tom, what happened? I mean, you were like on the Emma Stone bandwagon.
No, I've had Natalie from the beginning.
You read my article. You read my article, right, Paul? Come on, 5 reasons. Give me 5 reasons why Emma Stone's doing.
I've never changed Natalie out of the #1 position. Never.
I have to go back and check because I steal Tom. Tom knows the Oscars, so
sometimes. All right, let's look at comedy musical picture. Nothing beats La La Land, but especially because they love musicals in this category, right? Moulin Rouge,
Yes.
Evita,
Sweeney
Sweeney
Todd,
Todd,
Dreamgirls.
right?
Exactly.
If you're not a musical and a successful one, you tend to win here. So La La, of course, has got this sewn up. What I think is amusing here is in second place, according to at least Tariq, and by the way, our odds across the board is Florence Foster Jenkins comes in second place because, after all, something has to come in second place, even though we know nothing's going to beat it. And of course, 20th Century Women is not going to beat it.
Right.
And what else do we have in this race?
Can we go over to a very interesting supporting actor in a motion picture?
All right,
that
sure.
race is fascinating, I think.
All right, so who's in the race?
Well, the favorite is Paul Mahershala Ali. That's your pick. Can you tell me? Do you feel confident about that? He's the favorite, I know, but you tell me. Is he slam dunk? You think of the Globes?
Paul, can you hear us?
Oh yeah, sorry.
The question is Mahershala Ali a slam dunk shoo-in at the Oscars and therefore here? Tariq has a
crazy choice. I know.
Has Mahershala down at third place. So
who do you have winning, Tariq?
You want me to explain this? Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, I don't buy this Mahershala Ali thing. I think he's done with the critics fine. When I saw Moonlight, and somebody please tell me, I was waiting to see his brilliance, and the first part of the film, he's fine, very good, a very small part, very understated. I was waiting for him to come back to see
the second half of the movie. He's gone,
and then the movie ended. I'm like, wait a minute, that was it? I said, how on earth is he winning an Oscar for this?
He's this year's Alicia Vikander. Thank you, Marcus Dixon. I'm stealing your line.
But I thought, what did he do? Why is he?
Because he's the cool cat on the block.
Now here's the thing. I don't buy that the Globe winners really get Moonlight that much. And do they even know who Mahershala Ali is? I know he's been in House of Cards, but is he really a big star? Remember, this is the Hollywood Foreign Press. They love to go for the big international stars. Dev Patel means a lot more to their viewers, to their audience, than Mahershala Ali. Dev Patel.
That's not true. When you get into Luke Cage and these kind of Netflix international big hits.
Dev Patel, he's an international star. He's in a movie which I hear they really like Lion a lot. He's got a media role here. I think they would love to see someone like him get up there on stage and give an acceptance speech. So I'm going
it could happen, but Paul, set him straight here. Come on.
What? Because now I'm wondering. I mean, is this the return of Harvey Weinstein? You know, Lion. Yes. I have been surprised.
Harvey's major contender, Lion.
Yeah. How strongly it's been performing, Lion, and I think that's where you're seeing the Harvey Weinstein magic maybe coming back. So to that point, again, votes. I don't know. I can see. I mean, Dev Patel, and he gives a great performance, and it's also. I mean, the film is. It's a lead performance in a way. It's the second half of the film.
It is Lion, correct. Yeah. By the way, just to tattle a little bit out of school here, you know, I run into a lot of the HFPA members throughout the year, and what Paul's saying is very true. They will say things like, when they're allocating their votes in their mind, they will say, well, that will make this the Harvey movie. That, you know, we'll give him, you know, musical 9. You know, didn't that win? So,
it was nominated.
Yes, right. Really terrible movie. But even as bad as it was, they still lavished a lot.
You know what it lost to, by the way, 9 for best motion comedy musical? It lost to The Hangover won that year, 2009.
That's how bad it was, right? But I think anyway, by the way, Harvey is. They do think that way, though. So
he's got to win one award. You know, last year was the Hateful Eight, one for score, and then of course won the Oscar. Dev Patel, I think this could be Lion's best chance. This or maybe score, but I think here Dev Patel seeing him up on stage here, I think that'd be great for them.
And also, I think we all remember that people who pay attention to these things, that while Slumdog won Best Picture at the Oscars, nobody took an acting award. Nobody, you know, it's like The Last Emperor, Lord of the Rings. It's like one of these big Best Picture winners that somehow the actors don't get to go along with.
Right. Yeah. Remember also Dev this year had a great year. He was in The Man Who Knew Infinity with the Jeremy Irons, and he's been in, you know, the Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. So he's been doing fairly well in recent years, and I think that he's turning into a.
But Paul, if they want to predict the Oscars, they all get the Gold Derby email blast at the HFPA because we send it to them. They know that Mahershala is out front, and don't they want to own that?
Or do they want to change the race? Do they want to get their pony into it with Dev Patel? I think I don't know. Tariq is perhaps convincing me to at least. What the great thing about Gold Derby is how easy it is to change your predictions.
Out of our deeply felt predictions, right? Yes. No. This is, but Tariq, remember, is the king of the the long shots, and sometimes they come true, like Marion Cotillard. He was I think the first Oscarologist to call her victory that year, and sometimes they don't, like Emmanuel Riva.
What happened
there? Worst, stupidest prediction.
She lost by 1 vote. She lost by 1 vote.
She didn't get 1 vote.
she almost. It was so close. I play right now.
It's one of those critics things that just steamrolled. Emmanuel Riva, of course.
Right. Hey, by the way, one more thing with supporting actor is Jeff Bridges is a real possibility.
Yes, he is. Yes, he's one of the
fantastic. They like Hell or High Water. They like him, even though he won 7 years ago for Crazy. Remember Kate Winslet last year? We thought she wouldn't win. She won for both The Reader and Revolutionary Road, 2008. So he could win again here. In fact, I have Jeff Bridges #1 for the Oscar right now. So
you do, and you have him #2 here, and you've got Mahershala.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be surprises for supporting actor. I don't think they're going to go with the critics' favorite here.
Who wins SAG in supporting?
Supporting actor? I have Jeff Bridges winning.
Wow.
For SAG, that's right.
That's not going to happen.
Yes, it can happen very easily. Absolutely, yes. Yes. Remember, a lot of name checking happens at SAG. Jeff Bridges, I mean, he is so well known, so well respected. He can win again. He can win at SAG. Absolutely.
Those of you who know my real estate know that from the setting here, we're in my New York apartment, but I'm going to be in LA in a few days, and I'm a SAG voter. I'm going to have my screeners. I'm going to find out whether the SAG. Whether Hell or High Water was sent to the full SAG membership.
Okay, true, but one thing, remember.
And if it's not, there's no bearing at all on your prediction.
Let's go back to the Best Actor race at SAG, 2009, when SAG voters got DVDs up in the air. They did not get them for Crazy Heart. Most people picked George Clooney to win at SAG. Bridges won for Crazy Heart, and that was a little movie that came in at the end of the year. Most of them probably didn't see it. He won based on name recognition, honestly, Zach. So he can do the same thing with Hell or High Water. You know,
No.
Other nominees.
He won then on the overdue factor.
Right.
If he'd already, he won. It wasn't the name; it was the name not having Oscar next to it.
And there was buzz throughout Hollywood that he was going to win. It was overdue. It was this bandwagon was forming. We felt the rumbling for him.
But him winning at SAG, it was not a sure thing. Him winning at SAG for a little bit like Crazy Heart at that time, which a lot of SAG voters hadn't seen and didn't get the screenings for. That was based on
it's a very good point.
Popularity. So he can very easily win SAG. Don't count him out.
So suddenly we have to rethink this race, don't we, Paul? It's Tariq's making us.
I love causing trouble. It's so much fun.
You do it very
it'd be boring
well.
if we all pick the same thing, right? So we need some troublemakers, right?
Yeah, but when you're you come up with this crackpot shit, that's what we have to just call shenanigans on you and say, oh, this is Tariq loves to go out on limbs so he can own it later. So beware, viewers. Don't go changing your predictions right away. Think these things through and then steal from our top 24 all-stars because they tend to have the best percentage predictions anyway.
So now, behind the scenes, since we all agreeing that it's Damien Chazelle to win Best Director.
Yep.
However, I do think Mel Gibson is a real possibility.
Yes,
the Globe voters over the years, they have split picture and director more often than the Oscar voters. And of course, we have 2 Best Picture winners, the Globes. It's very possible. Let's say they go with Moonlight or Manchester, they go with La La Land, that they could want to, give Hacksaw Ridge something here, and it'll be a great TV moment to see Mel Gibson back up there on stage.
And they did it once before.
And even though he won for Brave, remember Martin Scorsese? He had won for Gangs of New York, and then he won for Departed. He won again for Hugo, so they could very easily give Mel Gibson one more award to be a chance to honor Hacksaw Ridge. So I'm very tempted here to switch because most films don't sleep the Globes. If La La Land wins for Best Picture Comedy Musical, wins Best Actor for Ryan Gosling, wins Best Actress in a Comedy for Emma Stone, they could want to go someplace different for Best Director. So I'm really tempted to switch to Mel Gibson, but I'm sticking with Damien Chazelle because he seems like the Oscar favorite, and I think they may want to go there. But it's very close.
I agree.
And then do you think that for screenplay, I mean, even though I've got Moonlight for Best Picture, I'm predicting Kenneth Lonergan will win for Manchester by the Sea. What do you two make of screenplay?
You want to go? Should I go first?
I don't have the nomination.
Because I have a very crazy pick here. Okay, I don't think anyone really wants to see Kenneth Lonergan get up on stage and give a speech. I think for screenplay, I think it's Nocturnal Animals, believe it or not.
You know what?
I think that was
a couple of our experts are predicting that. What is the logic there?
First of all,
I love the film.
That was a great movie, and I hear they really like it. In fact, I was surprised it did so well, but it didn't get into Best Picture because I hear that they really like Nocturnal Animals. And I think it's a great film. It's an edgy film.
It's a horror film. It's violent.
It's also a film with it's about a book. I mean, writing is so important.
But it
works so well.
The horror element just
no.
Hang
on. Tom Ford got in for Best Director. He's not going to win there. This would be a chance to see him get up on stage. So I think we could see a real surprise. Remember last year, Steve Jobs won for screenplay, wasn't nominated for Best Picture. So,
but that was a film about words. That was a masterpiece of wordsmithing.
Well, still, Nocturnal Animals the writing is so important. Nocturnal Animals, whether we're going back between.
But I think the minute people see horror and slashing and all that shit, they just say,
No, Nocturnal, it can definitely win here. So
I would love to see it, but there's no chance.
No, there is definitely a chance. Paul, what do you think?
Don't listen to him out there, anyone.
Paul, what do you think? Nocturnal Animals, can it win for screenplay?
No.
No. Yeah, sometimes it's just best to say no.
Thanks for straightening that up. Let's talk about these other kids. Emma Stone, yes, she can't lose. Yes, Ryan Gosling, but Ryan Gosling's lost 3 Globes in the past. He's never won. So why have all of a sudden does he get to go?
There's no one in this category who can beat him. I mean, Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool.
Well, you know what? I had Ryan Reynolds for a while.
Really?
I thought, yeah, because he was first of all, he's so charming. I think he just got his Hollywood Walk of Fame star. He's very popular. Ryan Gosling's been over there in Europe making Blade Runner. Ryan Reynolds is around town, and he was the driving force behind Deadpool. The fact that it got nominated means they liked it a lot.
Here's the thing. Right. Oh, no, good points. But here's the thing, though. Ryan Reynolds has no chance, zero chance of an Oscar nomination. Ryan Gosling is very likely in the Oscar race. They don't want to vote for somebody who has no chance of being nominated for the Oscar. Gosling is probably in it for the Oscar race. Not a sure thing, to be honest, but I think he's probably in, and he gets in here. So it'd be shocking for them to go for somebody who has no
just
chance
like you do. No, wait a minute here, Tariq. I have, just as you do, I have Hugh Grant for Florence Foster Higgins. As, no, you don't laugh. You got him in second place.
I do too. Yes.
And you know what? I wouldn't put any money on it, but that was a real standout, sympathetic performance. Yes. It was very charming. It was constantly a wink to the audience that was very winning. I think Ryan does have this, but of these alternates, I wouldn't totally.
I think Hugh Grant's number 2. That's why I have him behind Gosling.
Yeah, no, I think that that Hugh Grant could be. I'm just sort of scrolling back in this category to see there were times that they went with, somebody that maybe wasn't an Oscar potential over somebody that was, and I think.
I remember Hugh Grant. He won Before Wings Funeral, and he gave the most hysterical acceptance speech. I mean, it was just the best. I mean, the jokes went on and on. I mean, he was fantastic. I mean, jokes about Elizabeth Hurley. It was brilliant. So. Who knows? They want to see him back up there on stage. I mean, it'd be tempting. Again, I think because Ryan Gosling is in the Oscar race and because La La Land is the favorite, I think he wins. But Hugh Grant could be tempting to some, no question.
Yes. What other races haven't we tackled here, gang?
How about we talk about best song for a second?
Okay.
Because I know everyone's picking City of Stars for La La Land.
The most annoying. I love all the music in that.
Again,
that song.
I'm going out on a total limb here, and I'm picking Gold. The movie
That's
Gold.
not going to happen.
And here's why.
Oh,
because if you look over the years, typically here, look over the years, they love to give it to the big musical star in the category. Look, in recent years, people like U2 won for Ordinary Love. Madonna won for the song from Masterpiece, W.E. Bruce Springsteen won for the Wrestler song. They gave it to Mick Jagger for the song from Alfie.
Lady Gaga won an acting award last year.
Exactly. So this is Iggy Pop. This is Iggy Pop. It'd be a chance to get him up on stage. He's an icon. I know a lot of people may not know him, but anyone who's over the age of I'd say at least 30 probably knows who Iggy Pop is, and he's an icon. To see him up on stage here getting an award. Again, this is a Harvey movie as well, isn't it? Gold, I believe.
Yes, it is.
So I think we can see a little surprise here. So they always like to throw us some curveballs.
Iggy Pop ain't no Springsteen, baby.
Have you heard of a little show here in New York called Hamilton? Tariq Hamilton? I mean, Lin-Manuel Miranda has a song in the race.
That's where you're picking her for all go. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that if something other than La La Land song, it's going to be that. I mean, it's
I agree with you.
Even over Justin Timberlake's song from Trolls.
Trolls was not nominated for animated feature.
We have 3 songs from animated films here nominated. I sense that they cancel each other out. So again, I'm just going on a limb here, but again, it's unusual for a film to win that many awards at Globes. They like to spread the wealth. So I think if La La Land wins at least 3 big ones, maybe 4. If it wins director, which
this is you got to scoot in off this limb, kiddo.
They could throw some curveballs
ain't
here.
no Madonna. Iggy ain't winning out over.
It would still be very cool. It'd be very cool to see him up on stage.
In your fantasy little mind, yes, it'd be cool. In the real world, where the rest of us live, and on NBC that night when we watched the Globes, Paul Ryer Wright is going to be either City of Stars or it's going to be that song from whatever. So what else?
Okay. Well, how about best score?
Right.
What's your take on that?
How could La La Land lose? Although, wait a minute, Tariq has it in 3rd place.
Of course, again, they love it.
Oh, come on. Here. That is just insane. That qualifies you for being institutionalized.
Remember 3 years ago,
La La Land cannot lose best
everybody thought Gravity had scored in the back. All is lost. All is lost.
Yeah, I can do this, Paul. I can strangle him.
I could see.
Sense never gets knocked into.
I have a rival winning for best score. I spoke to a member of the Academy Music branch who guaranteed me that Arrival is going to be nominated for best score.
Absolutely.
He guaranteed me.
Absolutely.
So I think Arrival, it's from.
You promised me you're going to hold on to this till Sunday?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Oh, God. That's an easy
no fun. It's no fun if no one puts the
Absolutely, I agree with you.
So,
And I think there's a lot of wisdom to you.
yes,
Yes,
exactly.
I think you should feel more and more confident about that all the time.
Absolutely. So again, Lion can win the score. That's possible as well.
No,
There's La La Land is not a
La La
lock to
Land
score.
can't lose this.
We'll wait and see. But,
In third place?
what do you think? La La Land is it a lock for
Just
score?
tell him he's crazy. Go ahead.
He's definitely crazy.
Yeah.
But it's not. If it's not La La Land, it's certainly not going to be Arrival.
Yeah.
I think it would be. I think it would be Hidden Figures before it was.
Sorry, definitely Tariq. Yes. Go with that.
Come on,
But just don't go for La La Land. Now you promised me you're not allowed to switch now until La La Land. Even if we,
No, I'm not.
Even though we've humiliated
I
you
might
here.
switch to Hidden Figures, but I'm not switching
Okay,
to La La
all right,
Land.
good. I want you to switch to Hidden
Because
Figures.
Hidden Figures, that's Hans Zimmer and
Absolutely,
Pharrell Williams,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So that has a chance.
Can't
Never
lose.
kind of anything out.
That's right. Okay, any other major category that we've ruined here?
No.
Okay, so we're going to say adios here, and then we're going to sign back on to do TV Golden Globes. And I think a lot of us are now rethinking our predictions, but don't go with the craziest ones of his. Go with the ones like, maybe makes sense.
Hey, you always say no guts, no glory. So
And no sanity.
exactly right.